Hello everyone! This is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome one and all to this newest edition of the Running on Empty Food Review series. I'm your host, The Report of the Week. Thank you for checking in. I stumbled for a second on the intro there. It's because just before I was actually doing a little work on my podcast and radio show, which goes by the name VORW, so I was just so used to doing that. I'll just leave that in for the fun of it. So, that was exciting, wasn't it? I mean, everyone suddenly went like that, I'm sure, when you heard that, because obviously you've never heard me stumble over words before or anything. And I would wager, though, that your excitement, that was obviously, it's almost sky high now from that, is still incomparable to what you are feeling and what you have been feeling in regards to Taco Bell's latest release. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Review Raw, though, you're in the same location, you're reviewing the same establishment, what's going on? Like I said, the excitement is just, it's too high to do anything else with. I said, I've got to do this. So here I am. Taco Bell back at it again with another release. This time around, they have released their new Cheesy Street Chalupas. Now, this is obviously named after the famous Cheesy Street in Los Angeles, California. It was a horrible joke. No, it's called the Cheesy Street Chalupas. It's not to be confused with the Avenue Chalupa, or let alone the Boulevard Chalupa, but these are just the regular street chalupa. And here's what they are. You could get, for the price of around $5, I paid $5.20 for it. For that price, though, you will get 2 street-size chalupas, as they call them. They contain, I should say, slow-roasted chicken, an onion and cilantro blend, and they also have jalapeno sauce thereon. And again, 2 of them for the price of around $5. I paid $5.50 for mine. The Cheesy Street Chalupas. Good for snacking, they say. Maybe good for a meal. One thing that isn't certain, though, is if they're any good, actually, because the sentiment I've been seeing has been very mixed. Very mixed, I will say. Some people said this is one of the worst items they've ever seen from Taco Bell. Well, we'll find out. Comes in this bag with the bell right there. And I've got a thumbnail like this, you can get some good branding. I'll smile as if it's the best thing I've ever seen. And then I'll have my face in a scowl as if it's the worst. And then I'll have one where it's like I'm in total shock. There we go. Now we've got a thumbnail for every outcome, I suppose. Liv Moss. Okay, so it comes, I guess it's like one long thing, special. Let's see. Oh, I see what they did. Okay. So, they come in this little holder, I guess. I want to see if I could hold it up. It's a little greasy. Very greasy, actually, and it says Cheesy Street Chalupa. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. So they're small. I guess they have the Chalupa Shell, which is, again, sort of like puffy. And then you see the sauce right there. That's the jalapeno sauce, and inside is the onion, cilantro, and some of the chicken. I smell the onion. Could definitely smell that. And there you have it. Again, there's 2 of them. They're identical. Let's try it out. Let's see if it's any good or not. The Cheesy Street Chalupa from Taco Bell. It's going in. See if it's any good or not. I'll take another bite. When you look in here, what do you see? There's no wrong answer. You see deliciousness? Do you see slop? Do you see your hopes and dreams? Do you see it overflowing with chicken? Do you see a bountiful harvest of onion and cilantro? Or do you see mostly shell? Or not really shell, just sort of empty space. It's fluffy. It's puffy. Looks like there's more volume to it, but when you really open it up, a couple pieces of chicken. More onion, though. Not more cilantro than chicken, but probably more onion than chicken. Definitely more shell than anything else. I see why people are disappointed by it. I am too. But not for the reasons that I oftentimes am disappointed with, because a lot of the time when it comes down to Taco Bell, the worst items I've ever had from Taco Bell are simply disgusting. You know, the level of revulsion upon which they have generated within me is unparalleled, essentially. You know, some of them are unspeakably bad, really. This isn't on that level. I could see, though, because here's the thing. I bite into it. What do I taste? All right, look at it this way. You look at the name. These are the Cheesy Street Chalupas. So you're going to be expecting it's supposed to be cheesy, right? It's you see the chicken. Now you could get it in a beef variety as well. I forgot to mention that, but they're really pushing the chicken one. So it's going to be really cheesy. There's going to be chicken everywhere, and there's going to be those glorious onions and the jalapeno. It's going to be spicy, and it's going to be sweet. Not sweet, it's going to be cheesy, and it's just going to be the best thing you've ever had, right? Well, I bite into it, and what do I taste? I taste the chalupa shell, where it's, it has a firmness to it, a little bit of a crisp from a little bit of cheese in between the two layers, but I mostly taste the shell, which is oily. It's, there's fluffy, it's got a fluffy characteristic to it despite this exterior firmness. And there is a lot of it. Bite after bite after bite. The first bite was all just the chalupa shell. And then the second bite was the chalupa shell with some raw onions. That's good. And then the third bite, finally a little piece of chicken in there with way more shell than chicken. And then the next bite, there was more onion than much else. This next bite looks like there would be some chicken in there at least, but beyond that, as you saw in the cross section, there was more chalupa shell than anything else. And wow. The second one almost is even a little more egregious in that way. Most of that, look at that, most of that's empty space and onions with a piece of chicken there and a small piece of chicken there with the jalapeno sauce. So it's mostly chalupa shell rather than anything else. Now, that's not to say that it tastes necessarily bad. However, here's the deal. I bite into this and I taste the oily shell. Now, I can tolerate it. That's perfectly fine. Is this cheesy? Absolutely not. There is nothing cheesy about this in any way. And it's absurd that they even named it the Cheesy Street Chalupa as if that's supposed... There's nothing cheesy about this. Mark my words right there. There is nothing. So you could write that off. If you expect there to be anything cheesy about this, you will be very, very disappointed. The jalapeno sauce that's on it is so mild. There is no spice to it either. There's not even any tangy. There's nothing to it. There's no savory note, no tang, nothing. There's no spice to it. There's no cheesiness to it. Those raw onions, they're potent. You couldn't even really taste much of the cilantro. And the chicken quality, what little there is alright, but there's so little of it, and it's mostly getting sucked up by, again, this oily shell, which seems to just be absorbing everything. So, granted, it's $5 for 2 of them. I understand they're supposed to be street size, you know, little snacks and appetizers. I know they're not supposed to be overflowing with ingredients. I got some Baja Blast also, but I feel like they really missed the mark here because they're not cheesy, they're not spicy, there's barely any chicken, and tons of filler shell. I can't see many people being satisfied. It's one of those things like, alright, can you eat it? Sure. Alright, it's like eating an oily sort of piece of bread, essentially. Can you do it? Yeah. Will you necessarily enjoy it? I don't know. Maybe if that's what you're really looking forward to. I mean, I like bread, but if you get this with the expectation, oh, it's going to be little street tacos and it's going to be all cheesy and spicy, and then this is what you get, or with a little bit of raw onion, you can taste that, yeah, you're going to be let down. This is a waste of $5.50. This is an item where, I mean, look, they make the thing look good. I'll give them credit. It actually looks decent. That's about as far as it goes. They really missed the mark as far as substance. Again, it doesn't taste bad, but it is missing so much. So much that they claim that it has. It's evidently there, yet you can't really taste. So this is one of those items, not disgusting, but it's missing so much that, boy, did they missed the mark completely. And as a result, I can't give this a good review because it's clearly not as advertised, and it's not what you would hope for it to be. It's not what you would want for it to be, not what you would expect it to be. So therefore, out of 10, I'm going to give the Cheesy Street Chalupa from Taco Bell. They need a lot of work on this one. 4 out of 10 is what I'm going to rate it because it's so tasteless, it's just missing so much here. It's not disgusting, but that's about the only thing going for it. Taco Bell, hit or miss. They did good the last time, and well, here we are again. On to the next. And that's all that I have for you. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm your host, The Report of the Week.